Alright, what we have here, I'm going to show you a few ways of doing lines on a coordinate plane. Each of them come with different files. So the first file we're opening is a point-point line, which means you have 2 points that you know of and you want a line to connect them. And this file was already created. So we have 2 points, 1, 8, and 0, 5, and a line between them. And you can just move the points around and it moves a line. So with the move tool, I will drag one of the points to a different spot. Now you'll notice though that what happened is the arrowheads on my line moved off the screen, which is kind of drag. So what I can do is I'm going to zoom out so I can see the arrowheads. And again, zooming out is with your mouse scroll wheel. And I hold my mouse on the origin to keep the origin where it is, that's anchored. So now I can see the arrowheads. Now, there's points at the end of the arrowheads that I need to turn on, and then I can move the arrowheads around, and then I'll turn the points off again when I want to export my picture. So I'll turn on C and D, these blue points. And so maybe I'll move D a little up, and I'll move C quite a bit up. Okay, then I can turn the points off. Then again, holding my mouse near the origin, then I'll use my scroll wheel back to zoom back out again. Now, in this case, my thing is kind of off the screen, so I'm going to just go to my Move Graphic tool, which is on the far right, to offset my origin so that I can see the whole thing. Going back to my regular Move tool, this is the label that's attached to the line. I can't move it anywhere I want. Since it's attached to the line, it has a fixed limited set of area that it will let you move that label. And I can change the label. You only can use point slope form or standard form. If you want to do any other form of the equation, you have to type that in as a caption. So if I right click on the label, I can select equation. This is standard form. Or right click again and I can choose the slope intercept form. Now if I want a different label, then I have to go to the line. The line is labeled as line A. And I'll right click on that and choose object properties. And under object properties, I would type in a caption, which would be whatever you want to name it, or it would be the equation of the line in the form that you want. I'll just type in caption. And then under this show label here, you change it from value to caption. And so whatever you typed in would be showing there. Go back to value. Okay, now also this line is colored red, so I could change the color to a different color. Change it to dark blue. Now, you'll notice though that the line didn't change. See, it's still red? Okay, now that's because GeoGebra can't do lines with arrows. So, all that it changed is this thin, super thin dotted line that's behind the red thing that you probably didn't even know existed because it was so thin. And I'll show you what I mean. It's 1 point thin and it's this dotted line. But what the color did change was the label. So you notice the label became blue, or I could change to green and the label becomes green. I'm going to change it back to black. So if I really do want this line to change, I have to change two rays. So I'm going to go to this, there are two vectors, I'm sorry. So the two vectors are u and v. So u goes a vector going in one direction to give you one arrowhead, and v is the vector going in the other direction to give you the other arrowhead. And this is the kind of kludgy, but it's the only way that GeoGebra you can get arrows. So I go to each individual vector. Actually, you can highlight with your shift key, you can highlight both at the same time if you want. I'm just going to do one for now so you can see that they're different. So if I color that blue, you see that half of it turned blue and half of it is still red. But now I'll go back and highlight both so I can change both at the same time. Again, with the shift key, I click on both and then I can change it to blue. I can change my style to a thicker line if I wanted to. You could change the line type to dashed if you wanted to. I don't know with these vectors whether the dashing lines up properly. Let's try that. Close. Yeah, it doesn't. See how the dashing on the overlap part looks weird. Chose the wrong thing. Okay, so I'll highlight those two things. Change it back to solid. Is there anything else that you might want to modify in this case? In GeoGebra version 3, which is the current version, it doesn't do inequalities automatically. So I will show you how to do an inequality manually. And if you want to do it automatically, you can use the beta version, version 4, and it does. You can just type in inequality. Okay, so to get an inequality, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom way out, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle attached to the line. You can see the line now is kind of this little thin dotted thing. Okay, so I'm going to draw a rectangle, which is a polygon in this case. And I'm going to put points, and when I put points, I want them on the line. So I want to make sure that that little yellow label shows up that tells me it's going to attach to the line. So I click it there, move up here to another point on the line there, and then come off. So this is for a less than region. Then go back and complete. This obviously isn't a rectangle, but it's a quadrilateral. Okay, now I can zoom back in again. Oh shoot. That just totally ruined. Sorry about that. That ruined the video, but you don't have to act like that was just gone, or maybe I'll edit it. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to zoom back in again now. And so now you have sort of this shaded region that is your less than. And you could change this label. Again, you'd probably have to do this as a caption now. And caption that with a less than sign. And you can change the properties of your polygon to you could make the line like a thin dotted line. This is the opacity of the fill. And you can change the color of the fill, obviously, so let's do that too. Make the color something else. Okay, so you kind of don't see the line as it extends beyond the arrows. So that's how you do a single inequality. If you wanted to add onto this graph another line without doing just the 2 points, and you just want a line, so I can just type in the line in this input area. So I can do just like, let's do x plus y equals, let's say 7. And so I have a line there. Now that doesn't have the arrowheads on there, or the arrows, but it's just a line. So it just depends on your look. Now you may be perfectly happy with that, and then that is a line B up here. And so you could change the look of that line. You wanted to. And you could again zoom out and add another region in here to do a system of inequalities. I don't know if that attached. I'm going to undo, because I don't think I waited for that label to show up to make sure that it attached to the line. So I see the little label that says line B. That means it's attaching the point to the line. And the reason why that's important is because then I can change the value of the line to a different line, and the shaded region will move. Okay, now when I zoom back in, so we have, one region, and this is the overlapped region. If you wanted to just show the overlap region, then rather than doing those two quadrilaterals, I would have zoomed out and created like a triangle shaped region in here. But let me show you what I mean by I can alter the value of the line. So this line here, which is an independent line, it's a free line. Remember, this line was created using the 2 points. So I would, if I want to move this first line, since it was created using the 2 points, I would have to drag one of the points. And you see how the shaded region moves with it, since it was attached to the line. This line was created with an equation. So I just have to double click here and change the value of the equation. So let's do like 2x plus y equals 7. And you see again the shaded region moves with the line because those points are attached to the line. And I can zoom in and out, or I can move the plane around. It takes a little bit of adjusting where your arrowheads are and things like that.